I just remember I got up and I ran and I called my mom and I said, "Mom, Charlie Kirk's been shot." And she goes, "What?" And I said, "He's been shot." I literally watched a bullet enter his neck and I watched him die in front of me.
They out there tabling in the middle of a storm, trying to give hope to people on campus. And they get spit on and thrown at. The teachers want to kick them out of school. But some people are so goddamn selfish that they ain't thinking about them not one time. Not none of these kids. I'm so close to going all in. If you think about buying something for Charlie, only go to Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk's site, if they got one for him, Officer Tatum. And if you do go somewhere else to buy anything Charlie Kirk related, make sure that they're giving back to Charlie's family or they're giving to Turning Point USA. Do not go and buy stuff. I don't care how convenient it may be. Don't go and buy anything supporting Charlie with his name and stuff on it if it ain't going to Turning Point USA or his family. Everything that we do with Charlie on it, 100% of profits are going directly to his wife. And I'm going to write her a check and she can tell me where she wants the check to go. I don't care. It's up to her. But if you want to get some of the merch, right now it's in pre-order. We're literally down there printing it right now. And if you want some of it, get it now. We have allowed it to go all out, but we're going to have to make some cutoffs here and sell them out. So go and get it now. Go and buy it. Great merch, great quality, and it's going to the Kirk family. But we're going to play one of the witnesses. It was a TPUSA witness, and it was also the guy who was asking the last question before Charlie got shot. They were interviewed on 60 Minutes, and we'll play that video.
We wanted to sit down with a couple of students who were there at the event where Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And so we met Hunter Kozak and Jeb Jacoby. Jeb was a volunteer at the event. He was part of Turning Point USA.
He meant an inspiration to me. I watched his campus debates where he was able to communicate with other individuals in a pretty professional way when it came to debates about pretty much anything, and I just found that admirable.
Yeah, this is working. Hey, Charlie.
Hunter Kozak, who would identify himself as a liberal, was there to debate Charlie Kirk, and tragically was the person who was speaking with Kirk at the very moment that the shot was fired.
Hopefully we're going to have a little bit more disagreement.
Yours was the last question that Charlie Kirk ever heard.
Yeah, there's a strange amount of weight to that. I don't really know how to grapple with that. I mean, he's answered tens of thousands of questions, and that was the first question I've ever asked him. We never talked before that.
There's video of you in that moment. What was that moment like?
I thought I heard a firecracker, and I see I see the bullet hit his neck, and I fall to the ground. I think I recognized immediately what this was. That this wasn't necessarily like a mass shooting. This was like an assassination.
I just remember I got up and I ran and I called my mom and I said, "Mom, Charlie Kirk's been shot." And she goes, "What?" And I said, "He's been shot." I literally watched a bullet enter his neck and I watched him die in front of me.
Jed, this event pushes Democrats and Republicans farther apart or brings them closer together, in your view?
I think the moderate Democrats and Republicans, I think it brings them together. I think there are individuals on both the left and the right, some of them more radical, that it pushes them apart. And I think it's communication that is the most important element that comes together, and I think that there needs to be effective communication between both parties in order to find solid ground on this issue.
I think that that's one of the few things that we can agree on, is this necessity for a conversation. I think that we need to remember that we still have to live with each other, that these are still our neighbors, that this is still my community. And when I walk to campus, sure, that event was 99% Republicans. Everyone in that crowd disagreed with everything that I had, but that was still my school.
You both witnessed what happened. Your message to the country is what?
I could run down the list of all the disagreements that I had with Charlie Kirk. I could say that his policy proposals brought harm to this country, but I think he would probably say the same thing to me. But I do think that part of living in a society is not resorting to violence. This shooter is 1 in 400 million Americans, and he doesn't speak for us.
I think it's that we need to remember that we're still human, and it's genuinely like if you get faced with a situation where you have a disagreement with someone, I think it's about taking into consideration how their day is going and saying, I don't know necessarily what you're going through, but I'm here for you and I understand and I just want the best for you, regardless if we disagree.
And your advice to our politicians, having seen what you've seen?
My advice would be more towards the voters who vote for those politicians to look at what you are enabling with your vote and recognize that you have a lot more control over the situation together as a community than you might think.
Now, I'm going to say this. In light of all the stuff that you guys know has been going on online, can I just be very clear about this? Attacking Erica Kirk is evil. Attacking Turning Point USA, in my opinion, in a time such as this, is evil. I think it's evil. This is the part that bothers me about conspiratorial conversations and people who are out here just utilizing their platform to get clicks and to push hatred and division. Let me just say this. If you're a person out here online claiming that you got evidence or something, put all your evidence out on the first day you talk about it. Why is it looks weird to me when it's a drip, 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 drip. Put all your stuff on the plate. If there's something that people done nefariously and there's video evidence and there's receipts, put it out there on the plate right now. It don't need to be waiting to the next episodes. You don't need to wait till your next YouTube upload, your next article you write. Put your stuff out there because this is supposed to be information for the people. And I just think it's shameful when I see people talking about Erica Kirk. They want her to be a woe is me wife. They want her to be a woman up there crying all day. She can't get nothing done. Well, Charlie, I'm glad he didn't marry a woman like that. He married a woman did like this all day. She's stuck. She can't do nothing. Ain't no man want a woman like that. When I die, my wife cry at home, but stuff got to get done. Now, my wife ain't going to start working when I die, but she definitely ain't, I don't want her sitting around crying all day long. I'm gone. Crying ain't finna bring me back. But what would make me happy and a way to honor me in my death is to continue my legacy, to show up every day with your best face, your best attitude, and your best glorification of God. And when you go home, you can cry. But when you got to get on the podcast and you got to stand before the American people to honor your husband, you can pull it together enough to do that. Why y'all going after Erica, man? It's sickening to me. And I'll say this and I'm going to get to the clip, I promise. My heart goes out to Andrew, the video team, the security team. I'm still hurting for them. I talked to Andrew on the phone and he choked up talking about Charlie. They still hurting over this. They're still hurting. Nick was choking up over here when he heard Andrew choking up. Why? What is the purpose of people? And I'm not talking about the naysayers because most of y'all stupid anyway, believe in all these stupid conspiracy theories. You're just stupid. That's what it is. It's not questioning. You believe a conspiracy theory with no evidence. Just dumb. I'm not shocked because half America is stupid voting for Kamala Harris. Anyway, enough of that. Aren't you hurting for them? Don't you realize that the video team is with Charlie every single day? He traveled 100 sometimes. They there 100 times. They put on SAS. They do all this stuff. And they watched him get murdered in front of them. Don't you know that they're hurting? Why add fuel to the pain? His pastor who married him and Erica. You think he just don't care? You think he just never loved Charlie? People that don't know him is crying, sad and broken, heaviness in their chest. And they never met Charlie and knew him at all. Imagine the people that were with him every day. Imagine an organization that's just trying to move forward because that's what Charlie would want them to do. Why hurt people? I got text messages from Charlie. I'm not finna put his text message online for you to share it and like it. That was a conversation between me and him, and he's dead. He can't give me permission to put his messages out there. And listen, God dog it. I know Charlie. Charlie was a private person. Charlie never put his business out in the street. Charlie didn't address issues. He didn't address controversies. Charlie did all his stuff in private. I would never put his messages online and tell you what he told me in private. If he wanted you to know, he'd have told you. All this riffraff about who Charlie was trying to be and what he was doing and where he was going and all that, he dead. What does it matter? What does it matter? If he hated the Jews, so what? He ain't coming back. He can't defend himself. He can't even come back from what people are painting him to be. He may have changed his mind, changed it back. But a 31-year-old man that dedicated his life to Christ and the movement is dead, and people are using his name to get rich or to be relevant. Why would you do that to Charlie? Why? It's not an amount of money in the world for me to disrespect this man while he dead. It's not an amount of money in the world for me to push a conspiracy when they got a man arrested. Do you want him to get off? Do you want them to have a case where he don't get the death penalty? Do you want people to release information and compromise the investigation? My God, you guys don't know how frustrated I am talking about this. It's real. People were there. People witnessed horror. People were at the hospital, rushing him, doing CPR, trying to save him. They watched him die. His wife had to see his lifeless body. I've been to the morgue. I've seen tons of dead people. It's not a pretty sight. And it's somebody you love. They ain't never coming back. They're cold. They're stiff. Blank eye. You see the hole in his neck that killed this man. And you can't have enough respect to say, man, let me hold up a little bit. Who will I hurt by pushing a conspiracy? It hurt me, man. I love these people, man. They just young people trying to do the right thing. Video team full of young dudes wouldn't hurt a fly. Security team supporting that man everywhere he go. Dedicating their life to Charlie Kirk. And now people talking about the security team is in on it. Man, that's so sickening to me. Do you not care about anybody else? Are you not thinking about all these kids in Turning Point that's just trying to push the mission while they're hurting on the inside about what happened to Charlie? And some people want to see the whole thing turned down, tore down. Some people love to see Turning Point just go away. People say, I love Charlie so much that I want to see his legacy gone. What sense does that make? I have not always agreed with Turning Point. I've not always agreed with some how they treat me sometimes. But at the end of the day, it's young people acting in good faith. I go on campus and I see it in their eyes. I pray for these young people. I encourage these young people. It's not hard. It's easy to sit behind a desk or sit behind a screen, a millionaire with security and all this other stuff. But it's not easy to be on campus as a young person and your peers hate you. And you're not getting paid for it. These young people ain't getting paid for this. They out there tabling in the middle of a storm, trying to give hope to people on campus. And they get spit on and thrown at. The teachers want to kick them out of school. But some people are so goddamn selfish that they ain't thinking about them not one time. Not none of these kids. I'm so close. I'm so close to going all in. I'm this close. When I heard the conspiracy of one of my favorite video guys acting as if it's bizarre and odd for him to be next to Charlie Kirk, I almost lost it. Every time we do videos, the video team and the director of the videos stand right here. So if something go wrong with my lapel, something goes wrong with the microphone, something go wrong with the cameras, the person who's in charge of that can immediately address the issue. I'm so angry, man. I'm so angry. I'm sick of it, bro. I just don't know what else to say. I'm sick of watching these conspiracies online. The lapel mic did it. Why would you say that? They got the wrong guy. Well, why don't you help them find the right guy instead of acting like you joining in on the computer? Help them find the right guy. Are you sending the information that you're getting? Everybody online think they got secret information. Are you sending that to the FBI? Are you allowing your local law enforcement? You giving them tips on what may be somebody else involved? You cowardice folk would rather make $1 and go viral than to let the FBI help them in the investigation. I swear some people may have information they don't want to let the FBI know. So the FBI don't have evidence that they can present in court. If you got information, give it to the people who are investigating. You think there's another shooter? Send that to the government. Instead, some people want to play detective on their own. If I get information that I think would be incriminating or that would lead to the guy that they have not being the guy that's responsible, I'm going to the FBI. I want to deliver information to them so they cannot be arresting the wrong person. The FBI won't find out on my podcast. It just don't make sense. I think the FBI is acting in good faith. But some of y'all out here pushing conspiracies that don't make sense. They don't have no evidence. They presented to the court evidence of phone calls. Okay. All right. I love you guys. I'm getting off here before I lose my mind. Peace.